All right, hello, here we are. Night number 3 of the Hollywood Bowl is up next, and sorry, no whiteboard. I kind of messed up. I listened to the show out of order. I dug straight into the cities, then jumped over to Wolfman's, then listened to the encore, and then listened to the whole show completely over again. That just would have felt extra unnatural doing a whiteboard, and I ended all of this like 2 hours ago. So in the first set, I've had several people ask me recently, like, what would be your perfect set list? If you could like pick the set list, what would it be? And the first set would be 7 or 8 songs. And this one right here, first I'll just bust off the songs. All songs that I really like. Birds of a Feather, Roggae, Divided Sky, Cities, Tube, Taste, About to Run. That's almost a perfect set list. Maybe I would switch Roggae with Theme from the Bottom. Theme from the Bottom for Roggae, I should say. I mean, Birds of a Feather, okay, why not, I could probably get a little bit better for each song, so we won't say it's a perfect set list, but for them to go 7 for 7 for songs that I absolutely like if I could put out a greatest hits, volume 1, 2, and 3, every one of these songs are going to end up on there. Problem is, it felt a little bit like a greatest hits. Everything was pretty much by the books, the Birds of a Feather, the Roggae, the Divided Sky, the Tube. I mean, could they just give us 3 extra minutes in that Tube jam? Would it really hurt them? So that was pretty much by the books. Taste and About to Run. Again, though, all like Tube, Taste, About to Run. Boom, boom, boom. Even if they were all in the 7-minute range, still great way to end a set. And starting it with Birds of a Feather, Roggae, Divided Sky. Even if there wasn't anything, no jamming to be found except for in the cities. All dumped right into cities. The 18 minutes or so here on the live Phish, it felt like part of the jam felt like you probably had to be there. Then at a little lower level would have been to see it on Couch Tour. And then the absolute worst would have been just audio only, and that's what I was dealing with. Didn't have a light show for this cities. But this city's had that feel of the Split Open and Melt, maybe a song I Heard the Ocean Sing from this summer, maybe a Golden Age twist. There was a few songs that just like, okay, this is a light show as much as it is about the music right now. But the cities, not that the music was bad. There was a part in the middle. I wish they could just take like this 3 or 4 minutes and just record that in hands, do whatever they got to do with it and move over to a studio with that and then build a song around it. If you got to have some vocals leading up to that, Trey and Tom, better yet, even Mike writing some lyrics. And then, that would be cool. So the cities was the big winner out of the first set. And then over to the second set. While this probably would not have been, again, well, I shouldn't say that. Although, Possum wouldn't be my favorite set closer. Although Slave to the Traffic Light ended the whole thing. That absolutely is. Now, Wilson, I probably would have catapulted all the way back to the beginning of the show. But then No Quarter, if they're going to dip into the cover territory, absolutely one of my favorites. And then, ending the set with Possum. All right, the Jibboo. Now, this was finally a Jibboo. Like, I'm bragging about Jibboo often. This one was very good. Worthy of a F Zappa 20 praise. Ruby Waves. While it didn't run very long, still, it's one of them songs that it can't help itself. It's got a jam. And I do like Ruby Waves. And obviously, I love Wolfman's Brother. But then a song I Heard the Ocean Sing and Mr. Completely started the set with the big Mr. Completely, and most of it was completely boring. And then at the end, Trey just started ripping it. And then, unfortunately, though, it was only a couple of minutes of that. Then we get into a song I Heard the Ocean Sing. They race through that. They get to the jam. And then again, then it was pure fury. If at the end of Mr. Completely, Paige and Trey were just ripping fire, Mike and Fishman were in on the game for a song I Heard the Ocean Sing. So those two right there, if you take that tail end of the Mr. Completely through a song I Heard the Ocean Sing, they dip back in, finish Mr. Completely. And then the Wolfman's Brother. Heard hit that Miles Davis lick again in that one. Didn't do it a ton this summer. Heard it a couple times early and then no more. It's hidden, It's also made an appearance in Jibboo. It's the Jean-Pierre. Just listen to that song over and over again and then listen to the next Phish tour. You'll hear it. And it's not even like the full thing, not even a full tease. Just like as I like to describe it, he hits that lick. All right, so then I don't even know where we were. Oh, an outstanding Jibboo. Oh, the Wolfman's Brother was great, too. I should have written down some notes. Where'd they go with this one, man? I kind of can't even remember. It seemed like it was one of them songs that felt like maybe they were teasing something. It's like, is this another song? Are they playing something right now, or is this just a jam that they've kind of come up with on the fly? I don't know. I think that was Wolfman's brother, because Ruby was pretty much type 1. Mr. Completely started, maybe that was the Cities had that same thing. I think the Cities and the Wolfmans kind of could go hand in hand. It wouldn't surprise me if those were back to back. On a playlist, they certainly will be. All right, then as I mentioned, the No Quarter, Big Cover, and then Possum. Possum ripping, much like First Tube. You know, people are, how do you not like First Tube? It's not necessarily like I think First Tube is a bad song, unlike Loving Cup. I'm starting to think Loving Cup might be a bad song. It's just that kind of rockabilly guitar, the vocals I don't necessarily like. Has like a gospel feel to it, you know, maybe a little too much soul for me. You know, oh, I have no soul. I am soulless, I've heard. They've said. But that guy's soulless. Oh yeah? How come I get down to Soul Planet jams then, huh? Explain that to me. Set your soul free, however, on New Year's Eve. Big disappointment. All right, so let's get on to the encore. Wilson, Enslaved to the Traffic Light. Pretty big way to end this spring run, I would say. I would have been really happy with that. Although the Slave to the Traffic Light, again, you know, standard stew, of course. A lot of standard stews tonight. Mr. Completely went pretty deep. Cities was large. While Jibboo, I don't even want to say Jibboo was standard. It was pretty nasty for how brief it was. But About to Run, Ruby Way, a little hard, a little edge to the show, you know, a little hard too. In the Hollywood Bowl. Hard Rock at the Hollywood Bowl by the Phish. Welcome. Was this a Sunday? Sunday. Phish Hard Rock at the Hollywood Bowl featuring About to Run, Ruby Waves, Mr. Completely, and the Voices Completely Gone. Wilson, dude, it's pretty hard. This was a hard show. At Cities, that was wild. Tube, funk, that's Tube. If everything else is, if that was the end of Mr. Completely, that's Tube. I don't know what Possum is. This is Possum, just every time, mostly. Wilson, Slave. See you guys. Love you. Bye. Love you. Boom. That's Slave.